Still, Harm should be grateful. Harm did need the words.
Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our channel, Paws On Animation.
This Spooktober video covers the Young Justice episode, Secrets.
Now, in the darkest episode of the first two seasons, Artemis and Zara go on a girls' night out on Halloween for some fun, but it comes to a screeching halt when a new villain named Harm begins to chase them on a mad quest, and it is not a joke.
Nope, and before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, and notification bells on future podcasts and little pause videos.
Thank you for subscribing, sharing our videos, commenting, and so much more. Specials, you're always appreciated.
Yes.
So this is from the series Young Justice, second season. And what was the second season called?
Oh, it's for Invasion. But actually from the first season.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just called Young Justice.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. Young Justice, and the series follows the lives of teenage heroes, as you know we love.
Yes.
And it debuted January 7th, 2011, and ran all the way through 2013. Is that correct?
Yes, when it was canceled at the time.
And then it returned in 2022 with a couple more seasons.
Yes.
So as we mentioned, this is the first season, and the episode starts off like any other episode. You're thinking it's going to be a fun take on them going to a party, dressing in costumes, Wally being clueless, the McGann doesn't want him, she's in love with the Superboy.
Right.
You're expecting that.
Right. And that turns out to only be really the minor B plot of the episode, to try to put a little levity in there, because plot A is so dang dark, you need something to laugh at, so you're not just like, what am I watching?
But we should have had a clue, because earlier in the season you had some episodes that were pretty dark to start off with. You had Bereft.
Yeah.
And we also had Failsafe.
Oh gosh, even darker, yeah.
And a couple more. So this one should have not been a surprise, but it was, because the content got really dark. And for the first time ever in a series that starred teenagers, there was an actual death or murder.
Right.
And we were really, really surprised.
Right. Because before then you had shows like Teen Titans and even like Static and other shows where there's the danger of death in there, but it never actually happens.
Right.
But here, yes, it actually happens. Not on screen, of course. It's happened long before the episode's events, but it's revealed as it gets close to the end of the episode.
And in the flashback, you really see what happens, minus seeing the action being done.
Right. And for here, we have to talk about this villain, Harm, who refers himself in the third person all the time, and it's like the one bit of humor this plot has. We're like, can Harm shut up?
Now, Harm is a lunatic.
Literally,
and Harm missed his calling. Because right now you've got people that love psychopaths as long as they're hot. And Harm would have been really popular right now, even with what happens, which is pretty disturbing.
Yes.
Now, that being said, at first Zatanna doesn't believe it because, or Artemis and Zatanna, I should say, because they've been doing pranks.
You're right.
And they set up a big prank to go off at the dance at the school.
Right.
So they're thinking this is a joke.
Right.
But then they find out different things happening, different clues, it's not a joke.
Right.
And
he's not some low-level villain.
And then they realize that there's a specter that's making the people, Zatanna realizes there's a specter involved.
Right.
It ends up being a young girl. Mm-hmm. Probably preteen. I think that's what she is.
Yeah, it is.
Because Harm is an older teen, maybe 18, 19. And she's been leaving clues all throughout the episode. Putting lights out on different headers and just trying to get their attention so she can get some help.
Right. And it leads all the way back to actually Harm's home. And you see it looks like it's been all but abandoned. And this is where the last confrontation takes place. And they get closer and closer to finding out why this Spectre is so insistent on helping him. And she can only say one thing, secret.
Yes.
And even make one joke about it, where Artemis is getting a little irritated. She's saying, oh, why didn't you tell me anything? Oh, wait, I know. Secret! So that was like the one joke they could even get away with in here.
And it was the last joke of the episode.
Yes. And when we get to that B plot that comes up in between it, it's the only time they try to put in small parts of comedy in there.
Right.
And it was during the time when one of the characters was trying to scare people, and there really isn't anything there. So they try to scare him back and pretend it's an alien invasion happening at the school, and McGann turns into Marvin the Martian, pretend she's an alien invader. And that was like the only thing you could get that was trying to give you a little bit of humor to balance out how dark it was getting.
So they want to know what happened, and she actually ends up showing them. And it's so disturbing.
Yeah.
And it's so bad. Harm actually is the Spectre's, the girl's brother.
Yeah.
And he wants to be all powerful.
Yeah.
In order to be powerful, he has to sacrifice what he loves and get rid of the one thing he loves the most so that he can be powerful. So he unfortunately takes out his own sister. And then worst of all, he buries her in the freaking backyard.
And you find out why all she can say is secret, because across the street it was one of those magic illusion shops, like Magic Secrets, and it was the last word she saw, so that's all she could say. And it just gets darker and darker, like without showing you anything. Again, showing you nothing had more of an impact than constantly showing you
of what happened
right
in the past. But again, you don't see the act. But you see leading up to it.
Yeah.
You hear her wondering what's going on.
Yeah.
You hear the nonsense that he's spewing.
Yeah.
And then it's over. So of course, when Artemis and Zatanna find this out, want to take him out, and we don't blame him, and we're hoping that they do.
Right. Yeah, this is one of the few times you didn't feel bad for a villain. Not a Disney villain where, oh, they're misunderstood. It was society's fault that this person bad. No. This guy chose to do this. He wanted to do this. He didn't really love her as much as you thought because he went and did that to gain power. And then his behind got kicked anyway.
Yes.
And looking like he was sorrowful at the end. Like, well, you shouldn't have done it.
Yeah, nobody cares.
No.
How you feel. Look what you've done. So she gets justice at the end.
Yes.
But look at the cost. What it cost her. And she was just this innocent preteen.
Yeah.
So this was, I would say, the darkest and roughest episode of the entire series in seasons 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Because when you got to 3, you had Dead Girl and all this other
God,
stuff.
it just all went out the window because of streaming.
Up until season 3, this was the darkest and most disturbing episode of the entire series.
Yes.
And the writer of this episode was Peter David, and it originally aired November 18th of 2011. It should have aired in October.
Right,
However,
it was a month
it
late.
aired in November.
A month late.
But this was a testament to not only the type of show Young Justice was and how it differed in other series that have been put out with teens in them. Young Justice pulled out all the stops.
Yes.
And were high stakes. The majority of the episodes, you had some comedy episodes, but you knew that these teens had been trained by the best. They were hardcore. They were living like a family.
Yeah.
But the villains they were going up against were no jokes.
Right.
Ever. There was never a joke villain in this entire first and second season.
Right.
Like Teen Titans, you had some, not in Young Justice.
Right.
So, if you have seen Secrets, let us know in the comments. How did it affect you the first time you saw it? Did you see it on DVD later if you didn't watch the series as it aired? And what did you think? I mean, again, when this came out, these were not the type of episodes that were put in young teen or PG-13 series. They just weren't put in.
Right. It was something really different and really stand out that we really don't see in a lot of DC shows, animated or otherwise, because the basic thing they want to do is the shock value and to show the actions constantly over and over and losing its value.
Now, if you haven't seen it, it's available to stream on Max.
Yeah.
You can also buy the series on Amazon.
Right.
And again, this is season 1. If you're not sure you're going to like the series, buy the first season. Once you're hooked, go ahead and buy season 2.
Right. And if you haven't already, subscribe for updates, and we'll give you for your anime series, anime shows, and all things animation.
Yes, and continue to enjoy your October. Thank you as always for subscribing, sharing our videos, commenting, and so much more. And as always,
You are our specials. Thank you so much for watching Master Entertainment.
And our Mom Entertainments, and gotta give a shout out to Jesse McCarty because he was Nightwing and he was my favorite.
All right. Have a tune.